Hello, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Melissa with 1S, but you can call me Mel, and today I will be doing part 2 of my DIY plant hangers. This one specifically is going to be more farmhouse style. If you missed out on part 1, I will link it in the description and also at the end of this video.
So I hope you enjoyed that easy plant hanger. This one is, I think, a step up. It's not easy, but it's easy because you only need a few things, but it may take a bit more time. So for this hanger, you need a burlap, and I have a new roll of burlap, and then you need a pair of scissors, and the type of plant I'm going to be using is a bigger Brazil philodendron, and it's already in a hanging pot. What I mean by that is that when I bought the plant, it came with the little hook on it. So the bottom of this planter has a different type of drainage hole, but it does have a drainage hole, which is a good thing, okay? So now we're gonna be working through the second hanger. All right, so the first step for this hanger is you wanna grab your burlap and you want to measure out how much burlap you need, okay? So depending on where you're hanging it or how low you want to hang it is important, because what's going to happen is that you need enough burlap to go under the pot and then up to where you want to hang it, but then you also need extra burlap because you're going to be wrapping it. So I'll show you those steps, but basically what I'm trying to say is if you think you need a certain amount, add like a foot or two, because it's easier to cut off any excess burlap than to not have enough. So I'm going to measure out mine, and I did end up cutting one ahead of time. So mine is between 11, 12 feet. So now we want to cut two of the same length. All right, so now I have two pieces of burlap and they're about 12 feet each. And now we're gonna be doing the next step. So once you have your both pieces and you're happy with the measurements, now we're going to be doing, I guess, the part that takes the longest. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap one end of the burlap onto something that won't move. Now my cameraman, he's across from me from the table, and there are chairs. These chairs, they're like farmhouse style where they have posts. So I'm going to take this end and I'm going to wrap it around the table. And what we're going to do is by hand, you're going to wrap the whole burlap. So you're just going to be twisting it and it's gonna look like this, okay? Now the tricky part is that you don't want this end to loosen up, right? Which is why I'm going to be tying it up on something that's more secure while I do this part, okay? So I'll show you a little clip of what that looks like, but we're gonna do this part now. Okay? So see, I'm just wrapping it around. So you just continue to do this until you reach the end of your burlap. So just keep twisting it, and I will show you how it looks like at the end. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like after I twisted everything. So on one end, I have the burlap on a chair and I just tied a knot so that it doesn't move. And I worked my way to the other side of my 12 feet of burlap. And I did the same thing on another chair. I just knotted it there. And that way the burlap stays twisted because that's the look that I want to go for. So it's gonna look something like this. So now you're going to unknot one of them and hold it in one hand, and then you're gonna unknot the other. And all you're going to do is swap places. So what this is going to do is make an X in the middle, okay? Maybe you can find a way to do this more easily, but if you're doing it by yourself, this is probably your best bet. So now, if the cameraman can just show the middle. So now I've naturally made an X, right? Because now we're crisscrossed. So this is where the plant's going to go. So I'm going to take this plant and put it right in the middle. I'm gonna sit it on that X. So that's gonna be my base of this hanger, okay? And the next part is you're going to take all of these, take them off, and you're going to kind of have them separated. So this is the part, again, you have to be a little gentle with your plants. So you want to intertwine the hanger in between the vining parts of the plant. So the Brazil philodendron, sometimes the leaves can get caught. Like I'm trying to find the end of this one. Oh, it's right there, okay. So that's number 2, okay? So this is the one side of the hanger. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the other side, and I'll show you what that looks like when I have all 4 of them in my hand. Okay, so like I said, the part of you trying to intertwine the vines with the burlap is gonna take the longest. So now I have a strip of burlap going on either side. It's like a square. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap your hand around, but you're basically going to try to knot it. So pretend you're grabbing a big rope and you're taking it and you're knotting it. So I'm grabbing all 4, okay? And I'm going to lift it to where I probably want it to hang. So let's just say right about there. Okay, so the excess is going to be very minimal, right? Because since you did your measurements, you should know how much you need and how much you don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all 4, and you're just going to do a nice big knot. So you're going to go around, and you're going to put all of the burlap into the middle part. So you're going to grab it, put it right in, and you're going to let it drop a bit like this. Okay, you can kind of stick in the parts that you don't like or don't want to see, like these little things, or you can cut them off. So I'm just going to stick some of these ends in like that. Okay, so it looks like it was never there. And there you go. It is your farmhousey plant hanger. And if you have any questions about how to make this one, I know it looks difficult, but to be honest, it's just, you know, a little bit of patience. Especially if it's a vining plant that you're doing. And this is the reason why it's important to know how long you need the burlap, because it will depend on how long it's going to hang from the plant to your ceiling. So now I'm going to show you how this plant looks like on my ceiling in my office. All right, so there you have it. It is my Brazil philodendron on one of the DIY plant hangers. And I'm just going to give you a close-up of what the bottom looks like. So this is what the bottom looks like. Like I said, it does have a drainage hole already, and the burlap is making a crisscross at the bottom. So when you're watering, you can actually push it to the side and then the water will drain. And then once you're done, you can just move it back. And then, yeah, so it makes it easy as well when you're watering the plant. And there you go. A nice DIY plant hanger for my office. And this is why it's important that you know what the measurement is that you need, because depending on how long or how much burlap you have will depend on how long it will hang. But I think that looks super cute, very farmhousey with the burlap, and yeah. All right, so I hope you enjoyed those 2 plant hanger DIY projects that I've done. And like I said, just something that's easy, affordable, and just fun to make. So let me know if you've tried some of these DIYs that I've showed you in the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did like this type of content, and just sharing with you some of the DIYs that I've done here in my home. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye now.